Hello all and welcome back, and I'm the MGTOW Philosopher. Here in part 3 we have the deplorable, the marginal Kathy Griffin continuing to justify her actions as she muddies the water, hopping back and forth from non-point to non-point, totally confusing the hell out of people and making sure that the waters are muddied sufficiently so that you lose focus of why you were really there, and the entire focus now becomes the evil, the deplorable, the world-destroying Donald Trump, who is really the bad guy, not her. So we should be focusing on his Russia bullshit, which is a non-issue that they made up out of thin air. Let's continue and hear what other crazy shit this nutty broad has to say. Shall we? Her and her feminist lawyer, who's the daughter of Gloria Allred, this cunt here.
The most, but I'm super real, and I sort of have this gauge. If it's real or it's shocking, and sometimes I say shocking things to kind of wake people up. But yeah, I said that during a live show. I make fun of everybody in my act. You know.
You said you were about the fact that he was traumatized.
Well, allegedly.
Oh, yeah, the lawyer's like, man, it's just an 11-year-old kid. He was allegedly traumatized. You know, you should believe us that Trump colluded with Russia and is a puppet of Putin and all this other tinfoil hat bullshit, but he says this 11-year-old kid was traumatized when an 11-year-old kid saw his dad's head being held by this evil cunt, but it wouldn't traumatize him. Hell, it almost traumatized me. So I don't think it's a big stretch to say that the kid was traumatized, but the Gloria Allred's daughter, who's standing there, look at the look on her face, she's like, oh, this is just such a waste of my time. I'm too important to take your stupid question. I'm so much better than you. That's a dumb question. It's not worth me even acknowledging. Next question. Because I'm just totally going to be totally dismissive of any question you ask that's actually a good question. Totally dismissive. I dismiss you. Next.
We don't know that. You're assuming that everything the Trumps say is true.
Yeah, because I have no evidence to the contrary, you dumb bitch. And why would he lie? I know she would lie because she's a leftist scumbag and she's been proven to be a liar with this Russia crap because that's all made up.
And in fact, we know that many of the things that the Trumps say are false.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to paint the Trumps as evil, and she's saying that the Trumps are all liars because their names are Trump and because they are hetero white males. So obviously they are dishonest and they are liars and they are evil. So we don't need to believe what they say, and we don't need to worry about traumatizing them either because they are evil. Okay.
So, again, comedians get to be edgy. Comedians get to use four-letter words. Comedians get to make visual representations that are not appropriate for children.
Right. But Trump, because he's not a comedian, he doesn't get to respond on Twitter, which is hardly a big deal, and say, this woman is mentally deranged for what she did, and she traumatized my kid. As the President of the United States, he doesn't get to be honest. That's unpresidential. Yeah. Okay. No double standard there, no.
News organizations can decide what they're going to put on daytime TV, and parents can decide.
Yeah, news organizations can apparently decide how to craft a story to create fake news.
What's appropriate for their children to see. Next question.
I'm also not appropriate for children, I would say, across the board. Like,
that's for
me,
sure.
Like when I used to do a joke in my act when I was doing clubs, when I would, sometimes someone would shout out, I've got a kid here. And I'd say, well, you're at the wrong effing place. Like, I'm very open about that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this woman essentially is pretty much out of her mind.
We need comedians to go off, and there's a spectrum. So I'm a big comedy fan, and I think it's important to have comics that do super clean comedy, comics that do political commentary, prop comics, all of it. So I'm
Which one are you exactly?
You know, this is the kind of comedy I do. So it's the style of comedy that I do.
Chopping off fake heads and holding them up and not smiling and looking like a lunatic is funny. I mean, you might pull that performance art or something. I don't know that that's comedy. I certainly don't think it's funny. Aren't people supposed to laugh?
Kathy, you said you've been bullied by the Trump family. Have they reached out to you outside of social media?
I don't think they have to. My impression is that they have mobilized their armies or their bots or whatever they...
Oh, that's her impression. Her impression is they've mobilized armies against her, and nobody's contacted her outside of Twitter, but apparently posting some comments about what she did. What she did! See, this is the interesting thing. The left is very interesting. They equate self-defense or reacting to their bad actions as somehow an attack, and they are being bullied. You see, because she believes she's right. She believes she is fighting a righteous cause, and anybody who goes up against her is attacking her, is bullying her, and she's automatically the victim. There's no way she can be wrong, because what she's doing is righteous, is right, is 100% correct and moral, and nobody who is disagreeing with her is a good person. So it's okay. It's okay for her to go after them, but for them to respond is worse, actually, because they're the evil people to begin with. So they should just be taking their lumps. They should be accepting what she says unequivocally and just say, okay, well, I'm evil. You know, I have to accept my white guilt and my white privilege. So she has every justification to go after me, and I have no justification to reply because I'm a white man. I'm a white man, and I'm a rich white man, too. So obviously, I have no standing to disagree with her or to call her out, because it's not bullshit what she did. She's the righteous hero of the day. She is a crusader, yeah. Only in her own mind is she this thing.
Like I said, it's quite clear to me that they're trying to use me as a distraction. And
you're trying to use them as a distraction to distract us away from what you did, you dumb bitch, which I have to say it again is symbolically chopping off President Trump's head and holding it up as a trophy. You're projecting now.
Collateral damage for this fool. I think he's a fool. So I'm going to say.
Oh my God! So not only does she, Jesus Christ! So she symbolically chops off his head, and now she's insulting him. I think he's a fool. I think he's a fool. She's showing that she has no respect for the guy whatsoever. What she did was in contempt. He's not worth her respect. She feels contempt for him, so she had every right, and in her mind was even justified in what she did. She was compelled to post that video, and nobody should have any right to disagree because he's a fool. Everybody should know he's a fool, and what I did was right. So you just essentially destroyed your bullshit apology. Well, holding this press conference more or less did that, but what she just said totally disproves her apology. He's a fool, right?
I think the president
We're
is
sort
a
of
fool,
going
so,
on this way. So.
I can say that.
Do you have fear for your career after this storm dies down?
Absolutely. I don't think I will have a career after this.
I hope not. Yeah, we all should feel sorry for you, but we all know she will have a career because the left will eventually invite her back in with open arms because she is their champion. She has done this supposedly brave, wonderful thing, and we all know that the left love their little echo chamber, and they'll just yell louder and louder, thinking that those same tactics will work to silence the silent majority as it has worked in the past. It won't continue to work, but that's their game plan. So she'll still have a career, unfortunately. He who? Trump? Oh, he's now working actively to destroy your career. You seem to be doing a very good job of that yourself.
To be honest, he broke me.
He broke you? What are you talking about, bitch? Talk about the most precious snowflake in the world. This woman is talking about how she's so tough and how she goes out on stage and she attacks everybody and she has no problem with being attacked. But she's somehow been broken by one or two posts on Twitter. Are you kidding me? Talk about a fucking drama queen.
I apologize because that was the right thing to do and I meant it. I saw the tide turning and I saw what they were doing and I went, oh, okay, they're trying to spin this and they're making it about Barron and obviously that was never my intent. I would never.
Oh my God, so now she's just focusing on the kid. It's not about what you did. Everything is about obfuscation. Everything is about muddying the waters and changing the focus, splitting the focus into such a degree that the original subject has no power, no merit anymore. Typical leftist strategy.
I don't want to hurt anyone, much less a child, but I started to see what was really happening and then it was a mob mentality pile-on.
Mob, you are the mob, bitch. You are one of their spokespeople. The conservatives, the silent majority who have let themselves be silenced by your accusations of racism, Islamophobia, sexism, every other ism out there, they're not a mob. They're individuals, you dumb bitch. Sometimes they act together because they agree on something, but not often. They don't act as a mob. There's just a lot of individuals who are expressing the same opinion because what you did was universally deplorable. We don't act as a mob like you do, but I understand how you can only see such things through the prism of a collective.
Many people have expressed to me personally across the country at my shows, they're scared. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to risk. I don't know.
Firing you.
Excuse me?
What do you think about CNN firing you?
It's hurtful to me.
It's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's censorship, is what.
It's censorship. That's what you do. You censor people, you scumbags. And now you have the audacity to talk about censorship. And this is really why people are so pissed, okay? And that's why they're throwing your own tactics back at you. And you leftists just don't get it. You're calling us precious snowflakes when the truth is we're purposely using your own tactics against you and complaining a hell of a lot more than we usually would. Because if it was, say, Obama and somebody, I don't know, wore a Halloween mask that was Obama's face, every media outlet in the country would be condemning it. But she chops off somebody's fucking head, the president, and nobody says a goddamn thing except, oh, it's disgusting, let's not talk about it. On CNN, the crap news network. That's why people are speaking up, you idiots.
It is. I'll say it more bluntly. She worked there for 10 years.
Look,
She was the best thing about New Year's Eve.
There's a bunch of old white guys trying to silence me. And
Evil old white guy. She's going to every buzzword in the book. Why? I'm surprised she hasn't said cisgendered yet. Evil old white guys. Yeah, because old white guys are evil, right? They can't just be old white guys. No. And aren't you white? Aren't you an old white lady? Don't you have privilege? Should you even be there talking? Check your privilege, honey.
I'm just here to say that's wrong. You don't have to like me, but you should.
I mean, what's wrong? What is she talking about? That makes no sense. What's wrong? That they're old white guys? That they're trying to silence you? I didn't see anybody trying to silence you. Isn't silence trying to silence you actually physically trying to silence you or doing something to actually silence you? I haven't seen Trump do anything to silence you except give his opinion. Oh, but he's an old white guy. He has no right to speak. What bullshit. Typical leftist tactics to shut up the other side.
Silence a comic.
As Larry King said, Ted Turner would never have done it. Can we go around? Okay, let's go.
Oh, fake tears. She's not even crying. It's just, it's come on, look at that stretched face. This bitch has had more plastic surgery than Michael Jackson. It's ridiculous. She's so disgusting. Fucking old hot dog face bitch.
So, Secret Service questions. This is Dimitri Gorn.
So, I'm Dimitri Gorn. I'm the criminal defense.
Can you move to your left, sir?
Sure. We're representing Kathy in the criminal investigation, which we believe is going to be closed, and we're going to fully cooperate with the Secret Service in their investigation. We don't even think it should have ever been opened.
Yes, it should have, because it is standard procedure when somebody threatens the life of the president. They have to open an investigation. It is required. They don't have a huge choice in the matter. It's a requirement. And whether or not it should or should not have been opened, you should not be commenting on, you cuck bitch, you.
She basically exercised her First Amendment rights to tell a joke. And when you look at everything in the media, all the
What
times
joke?
entertainers make videos or express themselves in other ways, you've never seen an entertainer, let alone a comedian, be subject to a criminal investigation. It's really outrageous.
Because no other entertainer, if that's what she could be called, has symbolically chopped off the sitting president's head and held it up with a psycho, vacant look in their eyes. That's right. There's a first time for everything, you moron. And when you cross a line, you get consequences. You need to learn that, you leftist cunt, you. The tide is turning, all right. You said that before. The very tactics that you have used are now going to be used against you. Cause and effect, sweetie. Cause and effect.
And I believe she's going to be cleared. I believe the Secret Service is, doing their job, I suppose, anytime they perceive there's a threat, but there really wasn't a threat. Ms. Griffin has expressed to. It was just a bad joke.
Yeah, I don't know how they could misunderstand that. Bloody, dripping head, crazy-eyed, feminist cunt holding up the head. I don't know how that could be perceived as a threat. They must be crazy.
She's apologized for it, and we believe the Secret Service investigation should be closed as quickly as possible.
Kathy, do you think that if you were a male comic, they would be coming after you as hard?
No, cut the crap. This wouldn't be happening to a guy. This is a woman thing, all right? I'm just going to...
Oh, my God. Here we go. This is why I felt it was very necessary to post this video. This is everything that's wrong with America. It's a microcosm of the whole fucking country. Everything that the left has in their arsenal is being brought out at this press conference. It is so telling. I'm a woman. It's not because I'm a comedian. It's because I'm a woman. I'm a woman and I'm oppressed in this country, even though I really make more money than men for the same amount of work and the same experience. And, even though I get more jobs than men do, I'm twice as likely to get a job if I apply and have the same experience as the man. But I'm oppressed somehow. Yeah, I'm somehow oppressed, and this is because I'm a woman. I'm white, but we ignore that. I don't have white privilege like a white man. Only a white man gets white privilege. He has man privilege, even though he's the only person in the country you're allowed to talk about and treat in a racist way. Everybody else, you can't say a fucking thing in a negative sense about them. But white people, you can trash all day, but he somehow has privilege, and you precious snowflake, you are oppressed because you're a woman.
Come out and say it. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with me, but I live it. I'm 56 years old.
Right, you're living in the past, honey. You're living 56 years ago.
Everywhere I play, there's a male promoter. There's a male who owns a theater. The people who sign my checks are white guys.
Yeah, geez, that couldn't just be because white people tend to gravitate toward these careers, tend to be smarter in general, have higher IQs, be more creative, be in terms of systems, better creating systems. It couldn't be that they happen to be better at being entrepreneurs. No, that's not possible. Just like the NBA being full of all black guys has nothing to do with the fact that black people might be more athletic. Or better at basketball. No, there's some kind of institutional racism in the NBA against white people. No, it has nothing to do with their race. Just like all these old white guys. By the way, honey, if enough time passes, people get old. So drop the fucking old bullshit. They happen to be white guys, that's it. So just like all these guys happen to be white, did you ever stop to think that maybe it's because they're better at the stuff that they're doing, at the profession that they're in? Just like black guys are all in the NBA. I don't hear you complain about black guys in the NBA or the fact that nurses are a majority women. Why is that? Why is that the majority of nurses are women? Oh, is there some kind of institutional racism against men? Just shut the fuck up with your communist, pinko, cultural Marxist bullshit. I'm going to end this segment here and continue with analyzing this woman's nonsense in the next video because I feel it's very important to tear apart all of this cultural Marxist crap. I am the MGTOW philosopher, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.